Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Well, hello,
I've been
everybody.
excited for weeks. This is Michael.
Hello.
I'm Lisa. And we are bringing you a show about pop culture. Because I feel like it's influenced our lives in a lot of different ways. Mike and I, he's my partner, and we were born in the exact same year. Like, what, 6 months apart?
I think 6 or 7.
Yeah, so 1974 was a very good year because we were both born in 1974. So the beauty of that is that we remember a lot of the same things, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Like we graduated high school the same year. And in fact, today's episode is about 1992, which is the year that we both graduated from high school. So it's like heavily influential in our young lives, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So Mike and I have been together for like 11 years. A little bit of background about us. We traveled the country together with Broadway shows. I did a little bit of rock and roll. So we have been everywhere together and seen a lot of different places, a lot of different things, visited a lot of museums, and we are new to Las Vegas and experiencing a lot of the awesome stuff that you guys have here. It's kind of I would say it's like a pop culture mecca.
Yes, I would as well.
Here in Las Vegas with all the history, the Rat Pack, you guys have it going on as far as like back in the day. You have a great throwback radio station here, so we love Las Vegas so far.
It's been nothing but kind of both of us so far since we've been here. And, we hope to continue these great times and hopefully make some fresh ones.
Yeah. What's been your favorite part since we've only been here 2 months, but what would you say is your favorite?
I'd have to say my favorite part is, actually, believe it or not, it's the Pinball Museum.
Yes!
And that just exploded, and they just moved from one building to the next, and that building is gigantic. Me, myself, I was raised a lot of pinball machines, so, whenever my dad was in the back playing pool, I was probably out front playing the sticks.
Yeah.
So, pinball is a big part of my life, so when I heard that they expanded to over 700 machines inside the place, I was like, dumbfounded. So
yeah,
to me that's been the most important, the most
significant
thing that I've seen since I've been here.
So we went to the old one, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did you play when you were there? Like, what was your go-to?
Of course it was Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
He loves this Elvira, and when we were on the road we looked for it everywhere and we never could find it until we got
to here.
Yeah,
and then also the other one was Addams Family. The Addams Family. That was a great pinball machine.
So, that's a part of pop culture, too, right? Like, you're growing up, you hang out in the pizza shop, or where was it that you would play these games?
Oh, that was Pinky's Pizza.
Pinky's Pizza in Marin County.
Yeah.
And so, that becomes a part of kind of your young adult history, right?
Yeah.
So, this show, we're going to kind of talk about a year. We're going to pick a year from the last 50 years and not talk so much. I mean, we'll do a little bit about the headlines, what was happening, with politics and stuff, but mostly our focus is going to be on the influential parts of pop culture that we all loved and enjoyed. And we're going to probably play you snippets of songs and stuff, kind of get a little feel for the throwback of whatever year we're in. We're going to do often a live musical act. And then Big Mike has a new segment, new to social media shows and new to the world. You want to tell them a little bit about that?
Well, it's called Med Talk. It's a show where I basically travel around from dispensary to dispensary each week, and I tell you about my experiences. I try some of the things that they sell there, let you know what I thought about them. I'll even give you my strain of the week.
Yes, that's so exciting.
I'll tell you, I think it's although they could be better. Don't get me wrong. There's tons of dispensaries here in Nevada for y'all to try out, so you'll always get a fresh one every week.
Yeah, they're like Starbucks here in Las Vegas. We were even surprised. So, I'm a weed smoker from way back, but coming to Las Vegas, you're like, what the heck? There's so much. It's almost overwhelming. So Mike has really taken the challenge upon himself to really help you in this situation. When the choices become overwhelming, he's going to tell you his take on it, and he is very experienced.
I've got a little bit of knowledge, and you'll also be getting two different perspectives, me, the heavy smoker, and her, the light smoker.
Yeah, I'm kind of a light.
So, so for all you females out there, or new beginners, you'll also have, like she'll tell you like, what like probably took her down or made her want to like, start sweeping or something.
Right.
So because those are out there.
So when you say female, though, you don't mean that females in general are light smokers. Just like, I don't know, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you get too high and you're like at a party or whatever and you're not safe. So just to give you kind of an indication.
Oh no, trust me. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I know there's some heavy smoking females
some
out
chiefs
there.
out there.
Yeah. So don't get it twisted. I do know.
So what do you want to talk about first?
Should
we do headlines? Should we do music, movies? Because we've done a lot of research on 1992. We've been kind of inundated with this particular year. Stuff about it that I didn't even know. And I was 16, 17 at the time. So I thought I knew.
How about we start with movies?
With movies. All right. So we have a list of the top movies of the year 1992. And I feel like you've seen them all.
I probably have.
Yeah, all right. So we're going to go with Aladdin.
Yeah.
Aladdin was a big one in 1992. I don't love Disney movies so much anymore because I kind of have outgrown them since my kids grew up. But like I remember it was beautiful, and I remember we watched it a lot. Did you see it?
I saw it several times.
Just like on cable? Or?
Only because my friend's son, Justin, used to watch that a lot. That and Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. So Aladdin was a big one. And then also I have a heavy musical theater background. So the woman who sang the songs in Aladdin, her name was Lea Salonga. She was a beautiful Broadway star. So I liked that part. And then Sister Act. Now, Sister Act in our house, we watch it a lot. Like, it's one of those movies where if we see it, it's on cable, and we're just like hanging out at home eating pancakes or whatever, the remote stops, we put it down, and we watch Sister Act. It's like almost a holy movie.
Well, I mean, you gotta put it in perspective. I mean, Whoopi Goldberg is basically like a national treasure.
She is.
I mean,
she is,
and she's a great actress, and I mean, and I love everything she's doing today as well. But I mean, when I saw Sister Act, I like the voices. Like the way she was able to bring them out of the characters. The way they played it on screen was really awesome. Yeah.
And the musical numbers were really fun. Like, whoever did the musical, arrangements for that movie, like, they nailed it. And, of course, the sisters. It's just an enjoyable... And then they made the second one. So, I think it was one of the top grossing movies of 1992. And everybody went, wow, like, this Whoopi, she's something. Yeah. And then Lethal Weapon. But not the first one.
The third one.
I don't really understand sequels, right? So, like... You have one movie, it's very successful. You make another one and another one and another one, and then before you know it, there's like nobody cares anymore, right? But I guess Lethal Weapon 3 came out this year. Do you remember what happened in Part 3?
Part 3, I believe, wasn't that the one with Chris Rock?
Well, that's an improvement. If it was Chris Rock, that's all right.
Yeah, and Joe Pesci, of course, was in it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That guy.
He was pretty funny. He was funny in that. He was a good part of that. And then, but you said Chris Rock was in it too.
And my cousin Vinny too. Didn't that come out in '92?
Yes. So he had a big year.
Yeah, he was doing big things.
My Cousin Vinny is another movie that we always watch. In fact, we own that a couple times over. Mona Lisa DeVito, what a character.
Yeah.
In fact, I think she still influences me and my fashion choices today, like with the hoop earrings and the big hair and stuff like that. And she won an Oscar for that.
I wish every woman knew as much about cars as she did.
That's for sure. What does she say? She's like, something about like a double cam engine and and the tire prints weren't even available on that model, and you're like, yeah, she knows what she's talking about.
This car had a independent rear suspension. That was not available on the 65 Skylark.
Yes! See, you're competing for the Oscar now.
Oh, no. I could never be her. Never.
No, nobody could look like her. In that cat suit, are you kidding me?
Man.
She's like, and my biological clock is ticking like this.
Hey, if everybody looked good in the onesie like that...
Yeah, it's no joke. So, like, if you're looking for a movie to watch this weekend and you're watching Culture Pop right now...
And you want something really funny.
Yeah, perhaps we could influence your choice in what my son will tell me is my old movies. I'm like, this was 92. That just hurts. That just hurts. It's
Well,
rude.
he was born in 92.
He was born in 99. He wasn't even born.
He wasn't even a sprinkle in your eye
Just
yet.
rude.
Yeah.
Just rude.
Well, you know. Gotta love him.
Then Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Nobody really cares, right? Do you care?
Nah. Well, I mean, the characters were funny.
It was all right. I know that there were a lot more movies. I just didn't write them all down. Do you remember any of the other ones we talked about?
I'm not drawing anything up. Maybe I'll come up with it later.
Yeah, maybe we should take a commercial really quick.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take our very first Culture Pop commercial break. Oh my God. We're doing a show, Michael. Yes!
High five.
We'll see you right after the break.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything you want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now. Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything you want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now. Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything you want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century. Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
Welcome back again. So we're going to talk about the music of 1992.
Okay.
So when I graduated from high school, Boyz II Men was huge.
Yes.
Huge.
Yeah.
I remember that, and no, not End of the Road. The other one, Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday, right? So they sang that shit at my graduation. It was like in the prom. It was all over the place. But I guess that came out maybe the year before.
The year after, that was 93.
Was it?
Yes,
all right. But this is the song that came out in 92. That was like the top of the charts, right? I'm just going to play you a little bit of it because we don't want to get in trouble. Is that James Ward? No, this is Boyz II Men. It was all right.
It was a great song.
Did you like it?
Mm-hmm.
I remember singing it like in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have that one. Then, okay, so this song was very, very popular. I didn't love it.
Which one was that?
I'm gonna play it for you. Are you ready?
Oh my God, Becky!
Oh, I love that song.
It is so
Remember when it first came out?
You do?
One of those rap guys' girlfriends.
Okay, I like the intro.
Those rap guys. They only talk to her because she looks
If you
like
recognize
a total
it.
prostitute. Okay, I mean her butt. It's just so big. I can't believe it's just so round.
Do you think
out there?
he liked?
Gross. Look. She's just so flat.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers
Maria's dancing. All right. We don't want to get in trouble. We don't want to play too much and get in trouble. But okay, I don't really know much about Sir Mix-a-Lot. I know that this song was huge and still is huge. Like if you go to a wedding and you want to get somebody's grandma out on the dance floor drunk, all you have to do is play Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Well, that and Posse on Broadway was not bad either. My Posse's on Broadway.
I don't think I know that one. Is that Sir Mix-a-Lot as well?
Yes, it is. Yes,
Oh,
it is.
see, I don't know nothing.
Well, yeah, he came out with a lot of good hits.
Yeah?
You know, and he was very...
That was just the one that hit huge.
yeah, well, they all... Well, I swear those two were the big hitters.
Yeah. Well, in
but
92
he had a couple
they were.
other ones. Swass wasn't bad either.
Oh, see, you know way more about Sir Mix-a-Lot than I thought you did. Look at... He's a wealth of information, this one. When
I can't tell her everything.
he's quiet a lot of times, so you don't know. And I'm like, damn, you know science and stuff? And he does.
I amaze even myself.
I know, it's bananas. All right, so here's the last song that we prepared for the 1992 episode. I remember this being huge. I watched the video recently. I did not realize that they were children. Remember?
Yeah, I remember everything.
Do you remember the kids wearing their clothes backwards?
Yes.
Yeah, right?
But then,
And like, yeah, this is Crisscross. They came out with their own clothing line of like crazy. Crazy,
I remember,
But the song. All right, I gotta turn it off, otherwise I'm.
They are as old as us now.
They were yeah, but they were babies. I wish you could see this video, but they look like they're 11, 12 years old.
Yep, them and the ABC. They were the young children who came out with rap albums back then.
They are babies. If you see them, and then just to think of like they were that age to have such a huge influence. At least everybody in my school, because these kids.
Didn't wear the shoes backwards, but
Yeah, you could. Yeah, that would. Right. That'd be a disaster. Totally.
I think that would be a comedy show instead of singing, entities.
Yeah. Yeah, they would just fall on their face and everyone would. It's probably better that they didn't, huh?
Yes.
Also, some of the like real rappers came out with albums that year. Like Eazy-E came out with an album. Ice Cube. I don't
Mac
think they were
Dre.
Mac Dre recorded that album.
Yep, over the phone, and while he was incarcerated.
Yeah, 1992. I had written it down, but he recorded a song or an entire album over the phone from Folsom. Was it? No, San Jose State Penitentiary. And I don't know if he was the first to do that, but it's certainly
I'm
innovative.
I'm not 100% sure if he was the first. I know 5150 also did a song, Green and White.
Right.
Because that's the color of the sheriff's car with green and white. So they were always saying the green and white is on my back. So
Oh, really?
that's why they were always saying that. But yeah, I remember both of those albums. They were really cool back then. Like it was like, whoa, when it first came out, I was like, whoa, he did that from jail. Whoa, that was cool. But like, I almost half expected Tupac to do something somewhat of the same thing. But, then it would be glorifying jail, being in prison and stuff like that. So, I'm kind of glad that they got away from that because it just didn't seem to, it didn't click for me like that. Like, I thought it was all right, but, didn't convince me to want to go to jail or nothing.
No,
But
right? Totally. But it just kind of says, like, people tell you can't do something.
Oh,
Guess
yeah,
what?
yes, exactly.
Mac Dre recorded an album over the phone from jail.
Yeah,
Like,
if you can do that, you can do anything.
you're good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Talk about
I'm
determination.
pretty sure he had to buy people's phone time because
Oh my God. Totally.
Not everybody's giving up their phone time just like that.
But to Mac Dre, they'd be like, okay, all right. I guess you're going to use it better than I am.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I guess that's what like the hardcore rappers were doing in '92, more like.
Well, if they got in trouble, they had to do what they had to do. But
Yeah.
while they were doing what they had to do, they also had to.
They're still businessmen.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta love that.
Put food on that damn table.
Oh my God, this is pretty
Yeah. Do you want to talk about headlines?
Sure.
All right. So some significant things happened in 1992. One of which was Bill Clinton.
His inaugural.
He got inaugurated in 1992. That was the first year I was able to vote. I did vote for Clinton.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I did vote for Clinton. And he was all right.
No,
I
I
mean-
mean that that's the first time you
Yeah.
voted is
Yeah. There's his image with little Hillary and just like, I love the look on her face in that photo. She's just like so overcome. I mean, say what you want about Hillary and her career, but I think her heart's in it.
Yeah.
You can see in that photo. And boy, what was to come afterwards.
she's so young at that.
She was, and that's their daughter, Chelsea. And I marched in Washington, D.C. at the Gay Pride Parade in 1992.
You did?
I did. And some of the guys were holding up a sign in front of the White House that said, "We came to do Chelsea's hair." In the White House. Yeah, but anyway, that was him. John Gotti was arrested. He was the head of the Gambino crime family. I don't really know much about the Gambino crime family, but I know a lot of people got, if you know what I mean. And they say that John Gotti was behind it, but they put him behind bars in 1992, and that was a big deal. I don't really remember. I wasn't following like mafioso back then, so I don't
Me
really
neither.
remember.
I barely remember very little about that point in time. Wasn't he called like the Teflon Don or something like that? Because nothing could stick to him.
That's right. You told me that. I think they did call him the Teflon Don because they couldn't make charges stick.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I mean,
it's
okay.
a great name.
Say
like,
what you
okay.
want about gangsters and the mafia, but they have the best fucking nicknames, right?
I swear to God.
Teflon Don, you got like what? Smalls McGillicuddy, you got Babyface whatever. Like I want a mafia name.
Your Machine
Yeah.
Gun Kelly.
Your mafia name would be like Boss Lady something.
Mother Teresa.
Mother Maria the boss.
No,
Yeah.
no, I think, yeah.
I don't know. We're not good at this, apparently.
Yeah, we're gonna have to give it some more thought
Yeah, how
before we
about
come
you?
up with our me.
Yeah, what would be your
Baseball bat boobs McGillicuddy.
name? You got it.
I got boobs and a baseball bat.
All right.
How about you, Michael?
They called me the eggplant, I think.
Stop it! That doesn't sound very tough.
It's not.
That's,
It's not very mafia.
it's not. It's not. Now, why would they call you the eggplant?
Because I'm black.
Because you,
My head looks like an
I
okay,
eggplant.
eggplants are purple, but
I thought
that's
he-
hilarious.
Yeah, I thought he hated eggplant. That's why he said that. That's what I thought first.
No.
If I was gonna give you a mafia name, it would be something to do with like weed, like not Puff Daddy, right?
Well,
Somebody already
no.
took that one.
That's horrible.
Something along those lines, though, like
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy, Big Daddy Puffs.
Or Sir Smokes a Lot. Or
Sir
something.
smokes a lot. I love it. I
That's
love
not
it.
really mafioso.
Sir smokes a lot.
Smoke a lot.
So, do you want to tell us about the sports headlines?
Oh, geez. Like, see, look, in '92, I wasn't really paying too much attention around what was going on because I was fighting fires at the time.
Oh yeah.
That Oakland Hills fire they had back, I think it was in '92. I was working on that fire.
That was a big one.
I remember the Dream Team back then.
That was the
first
huge thing.
Olympic team that had all professional basketball players on the team, and wow, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan. I mean, everybody. I mean, the only person who wasn't there was Isaiah Thomas. But,
My Sweet Pippin.
Pippen was
I had a
there,
crush on
Charlie
Scottie
Pippen was there. I mean, David. A lot of. I mean, I think they won every game by a score of like 42 points.
Yeah, like 1,000.
Yeah, it's
The rest of
like-
the world was like, we give
How
up.
can we compete with that? I mean, if you're standing on one side of the court, you look on the other side, you see Jordan, Magic, Bird, Oakley, or
Right,
all those guys. I would have just left my
I'm going
shoes
home.
there, just
I'm
walked
going
home.
home.
Hopefully, my shoes can play a better game than I can, because. I mean, I would have tried, but
It's almost a little bit mean of the United States.
I mean, man. I mean, and don't get me wrong, all the dream teams that have, they didn't really call them all dream teams, but all the teams that followed afterwards, Kobe and LeBron and all those guys, they're still
Trying to live up to that.
still trying to live up to that, and and they've been doing a decent job, we haven't lost them a little bit, but stranger things have happened.
Do you remember watching those Bulls games back then when the team was like, because '92 they were huge, right?
They were, I think, 92, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about the Lakers. Yeah, 92, I think they were just winning their third title or their first. Not 100% sure. I remember I was in Humboldt at the time, and I went to a bar because I heard the game going on from outside. So I walked in, just to check out what was going on the TV. And, not the greatest thing I'm saying, So I was standing there watching the game a little bit, marveled by Jordan, doing his thing. And this guy walked by and he flipped a cigarette right in my chest. And I was like, whoa, really? What happened, guy? And this guy turned around and he was like, careful.
Oh,
He called me a ninja.
oh.
Careful, ninja. There's more me
He
in
didn't
here
say
than there
ninja.
are.
This was in Humboldt?
I looked around and he was right. There was more than there were me. So I was like,
That's why his
yeah.
chicken shit ass came for you.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, maybe next time, So I let it go, but
Aw.
hey, that happens, You just gotta be prepared for stuff like that. But hey, that comes with being black. It's part of
Big,
the territory.
huge, and black.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure when I walked in, I scared the shit out of him. That's probably why he was leaving.
Oh yeah.
So, but whatever.
But how does that go back to the Bulls, baby?
I was watching Michael Jordan at the time win the title.
Yeah.
So that's
just like peeking in through the window of this white supremacy bar.
Well, it was just a regular old bar, but I'm pretty sure not everybody felt like that in the bar. I mean, they were watching a black dude on TV win a title, so come on, they couldn't have all been like that. But
that's true.
it's all good. I'm not worried about that.
But that was
stuff.
one of the things that you remember. Well, okay, because like one of the things that we are going to talk about, because it also happened in 1992, and it was huge in the headlines, is the Rodney King verdict that kind of rocked. I definitely remember that happening.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't in Vegas at the time, but
I was in California.
yeah, so was I. I remember the riots that happened shortly thereafter. All those people, it was just mass chaos going on at the time.
I kind of say that Rodney King is like the original George Floyd, in that like these things have always been happening, but it was the first time that it was like filmed,
Actually filmed, and everybody could see it, and it
was terrible and ugly. And I think I gave you a picture, right, of Rodney King. So there was a picture of him posted after the beating. So he was beat. I wrote it down. It's just like unbelievable to remember. He was intoxicated. That's him. He was intoxicated and he was speeding through San Fernando Valley. Like, of course, DUI, we don't condone that. However, the cops pulled him over and they beat him. Yeah. So the cops that did it were acquitted.
Which is what started the riots.
Yeah, and so then of course there were these big riots, and even George Bush at the time, who was the president of the United States, he was quoted as saying, "Viewed from outside the trial, it's hard to understand how the verdict could possibly square with the video." So if the president is even saying that, like, that something's up.
I mean, the same thing was happening just recently with the George Floyd thing. I mean, President Biden was like, he was all there, he even called the family after the verdict, but, he was doing the same thing, basically,
It's just like, what the fuck, man?
What the hell happened,
Yeah.
I thought a jury of our peers was supposed to hear this issue, and it didn't seem like that's what happened back then. I'm pretty sure that's not what happened back then,
So
but things have changed, and thank God, we got this one.
Yeah, finally. But so what happened, the thing that I remember very distinctly in 1992, and like I said, I was 18, was these riots that happened. The verdict came out, the cops were acquitted, people were very angry, and a lot of the demonstrations that took place started as demonstrations. Like here in Las Vegas, the NAACP staged a march. They were just going to peacefully march to downtown. They got almost to downtown and were stopped by the police because here in Vegas, like, they didn't want to disturb the tourism, right? And I guess that's a legitimate question, right? Like, we have all these tourists that come to Las Vegas. We like their money, and here comes this protest. So I think they made a bad call, if truth be told, but they were turned away. And then it proceeded to begin a riot. And I think that that's kind of how it started in a lot of places. People riot because they just, I don't know, you get full of rage, right? You're like, this is wrong, no justice, no peace, and they just go crazy, start destroying things like you do when you're in a rage. I don't condone it, obviously.
Well, no one really condones.
But we're all human beings, and if you feel that amount of rage, I mean, I guess I can see how it happened, right? Especially when you look at the photo of King and you see, I mean, they kicked the shit out of him. They kicked the shit out of him. And that was a really big deal. I remember lots of people were scared. The ramifications of that lasted for weeks and weeks. We were still talking about it, and we're still talking about it now. So, but the Rodney King acquittal happened in 1992. It was a big deal.
Yeah. Sure was.
I think we should take another quick break.
All right.
And then Mike is going to give us some med talk, which I'm very excited about. He's going to drop some knowledge on us. So come on back.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything you want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now. Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything you want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now. Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything you want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now. Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything you want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now. Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well,
Hi, welcome back.
Hi, I'm Big Mike, and welcome to Med Talk,
Yeah.
where I go from a dispensary each week and I test out the stuff that they sell. And this week's dispensary is Cultivate. They are located on 3615 Spring Valley Road.
Spring
Mountain, Spring Mountain Road. And they're a pretty nice dispensary. I visit their location several times.
I'm sorry, that's my fault.
What happened?
I tried four different varieties there, 4 different strains. I tried the sour cream, I tried the inner chi, the Cookie Supreme, and the Lemon Meringue. What did you think about these four?
Well, I am not the connoisseur that you are, right? So he just gives me weed, and I go, "Oh, great! Here's some weed." But also, also, I'm not a heavy smoker. I try to keep it just like a medicinal, right? Because I have anxiety. I have
help?
panic. It can. It just, and I think sometimes when I smoke it, initially it brings on a little bit of a panic, but then afterwards there's sort of a calm. So it's not like the high that I'm looking for. It's the overall calm that comes like along with having smoked it or smoke it. So I smoke every day, but not huge amounts. A couple hits here and there throughout
What's
the
the
day.
difference? Huge amount, small amount?
Oh, right.
Well, see, I've been smoking for quite a while, so, over 20 years. So I've got a tolerance kind of built up. So it takes me a little bit more to get to the achieved effect that I would like, or the desired effect. And it takes her a little bit less because she doesn't smoke quite as much.
Yeah.
So, like when I used to kick it with my friends back in 92, say back then, I would smoke a joint, and before that one was even over, I'd already be rolling the next one, and I'd have that one lit. But I wasn't just smoking by myself. I was smoking with like a crowd of people,
Yeah.
like 10, 15 people sometimes.
The old puff pass.
Yeah, and I had a lot of friends, and they all smoked too. So, and we pass it around, and before they get back around, you'd be like, oh, it's the roach again. So you'd always have to have another one already started, so that way, everybody could keep smoking.
Would you say that, sorry to interrupt, would you say, they say that these strains are getting stronger and stronger and stronger over time. Have you noticed a lot of that?
I have noticed a little bit of that.
Yeah.
It also depends on where you get your stuff and how it's grown. You can get indoor or outdoor, and then there's indica, sativas, and hybrids. So, there's a lot of different ways. I remember we used to, when we were back in 92, we'd get some homegrown, and it tastes just like that, like it was grown from home. It tastes like someone took the top of a celery stalk.
Home cook, right?
Yeah, well, it tastes like someone took the top of a celery stalk and rolled it up in a paper, and you can smoke it, and you're like, oh, it would be horrible, but they never really said if you grew outside, they never called that homegrown, but you could grow outside at home, and it'd be called outdoor, so.
What was homegrown then?
Homegrown was grown inside.
Inside, like in your kitchen in a planter, and it tastes
Not
like
in a kitchen.
compost.
You'd have like a room dedicated to
With lights.
Yeah, with lights and all that.
Oh, okay.
That's indoor
Lights
grown.
too?
Yeah, you can. You can grow inside with the lights that mimic the sun.
So what? Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then that racks up your
I
electricity
have
bill,
a
I guess.
question.
Mhm.
You see that band, Rolling Stone? Is that because of the rolling paper?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
I
I'm
don't
sorry,
know.
that's.
I don't know the answer to that. You're saying it's not.
I don't believe it is. No.
Oh,
Who
okay.
knows?
I don't know. I'm just curious.
Uh-huh.
If you guys know.
I don't know. I'm going to look it up now.
Yeah.
I know, right? See?
Yeah.
See?
That'll be something we'll use for
We should-
another show.
We'll have to definitely do the Rolling Stones in one of those 60s years.
Yes, yes, that's
Yeah,
right. Okay,
totally.
okay. Forget that I said about.
Hey, no, whatever.
So these are the three that I've tried. The fourth didn't make it here because we kind of smoked it all. So
Which one was that? Was that the one I liked?
that was the lemon meringue.
It was lemon meringue. It was delicious and it was so perfect. I don't even. Yeah. So the
There's
ones that we,
different tastings.
the ones that we didn't smoke all of today, as he was saying, are sour cream.
Cookie Supreme, which is really good. She hasn't gotten to try this. This is the second time I
Yet.
bought it. So, but she's tried it the first time, and we liked it then too.
Would you mind, just for people like me and maybe others that don't know, would you take us through like what you'll find on a label? Do you mind? Just because I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm sorry, I'm annoying.
No, that's all right. Well, they tell you, different parts of each one, like total THC. Now, THC is the part that affects the brain, or gives you the feeling of peace or inner chi, inside.
It's like the weedy part of the weed, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to the CBD, which is like more of a relaxing.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Okay, but these I'm noticing it has the harvest date. right?
That's when they were harvested.
And the testing date, because everybody in Nevada, all the strains, is that correct? Have to go through a particular kind of testing. And then the package date, and then there's even an expiration date for your marijuana. Did you know that?
But you know what? It doesn't expire.
Nobody cares.
It
It's
never
just maybe it's
expires.
more like a sell-by date, huh?
Maybe, yeah. You never know. I mean, each dispensary is going to be different. Now, I could have a whole lot of these questions answered if I had a guest.
I know.
But since Cultivate decided not to send anybody,
Oh,
we're doing it on our own.
we
so
are. But if you are in the marijuana industry and you want to be a guest for Med Talk,
So that we can
and get some free advertising, and then maybe sponsor us or something. I mean, we are certainly.
well, that's not only reasons. We've got a lot of questions that we need answered, and those people can answer those
We're
questions for us.
consumers, darn it.
The next dispensary we will be visiting next week will be Green Dispensary off Decatur. And hopefully they'll send somebody next week. If not, we'll be here
We'll
doing
do
it
it
again. You know,
So-
answer our own question.
Yeah, that's right. And I've
Um,
I've interrupted you a million times because you're going to give us a review, right? Like your mic's overall. So I'm going to stop interrupting you.
okay. That's fine. You can interrupt anytime. It's great.
Oh, thank you.
Out of these four, I'd have to say Cookie Supreme was probably my number 4 pick. Sour Cream was probably my number 3. Inner Chi was probably my number 2. And Lemon Meringue was my number 1.
Lemon meringue was
I mean, it was tasty. It didn't make you want to go to sleep. You felt a little energized and stuff, instead of.
It did have a little citrus taste, which I enjoyed.
Oh yeah, that's why it was called lemon.
Yeah, and I can't remember all the strains, but when you gave me that one, I was like, "Woo!" That was like what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's
delicious.
why there's no more left.
Yeah, there's none left. We smoked it all.
And I swear the Inner Chi, if you're looking for something to put you on your butt and keep you there, that's the one.
Inner Chi.
Yes, that is the one. I'll tell you what.
Mellow.
Yeah, and way past mellow. You're checking your
that's
eyelids
right.
for peepholes.
That's right. I went out to the living room and I was like, "Well, why is he asleep at 2:00 in the afternoon?" Just like mouth open, like.
It made me find my Inner Chi.
He sure did. The dogs were like, I don't know what happened.
And one other thing I will say about Cultivate is they were able to sell us grams. You can't find grams in every dispensary you go to. So if you only have like $10 and you need to get some flowers, they got you.
Yeah, or if you're like us, that's marijuana is often referred to as flower or flowers.
Yeah, because these are the flowers.
They're it's the flowering part of the
It's
plant.
the flowering part of the plant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool, huh?
so-
Like Shelly and Desi were saying this morning, we're going to start a business making marijuana wedding bouquets, right? Dun, 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 here's your flowers.
That's with a bunch of cola buds.
Yeah, but then the girls were like, yeah, but then when you throw the bouquet, if you're in my family, then people get bloody.
In this scenario, if you throw the bouquet, everybody's going to sleep. And you're gonna have no wedding cake left
Yeah,
over.
if it's Inner Chi, everybody's
You're
out.
gonna have no wedding cake.
No
left
wedding
over.
cake. They clear off the buffet and everyone's
Yep.
asleep. I love it.
So be prepared.
I love
So I believe our strain of the week is gonna be
It's gonna be lemon meringue.
lemon meringue. So if you are looking for a great tasting herb and one that won't put you to sleep, that's the one we recommend.
Yeah, 5 puffs up.
And don't forget, that's Cultivate on 3615 Spring Mountain Road.
Yeah, because like we said, there are dispensaries everywhere here.
Mm-hmm.
We came from Connecticut. There was one in the whole town, and you had to have a weed card, and the line was around the place. Here, it's like everywhere you go. However, people who live in Las Vegas do not love it when you come here, get super high, and crash your rental car on the strip. Just telling you.
Mm-hmm.
It's frowned on.
Highly frowned upon.
Don't act like an amateur.
And if you are, stay in your hotel
Stay
room.
in your hotel. It's fine. They have food there and water. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
You will never have seen such a good episode of The Kardashians.
Or pass out from heat exhaustion outside on the strip.
Don't do that either. Don't do that either. Oh.
Please don't. We recommend that.
Health hazard.
Keeps the forehead looking nice. You still have your teeth. You
Yeah.
know.
Now, Mike and I are both sober. We don't drink alcohol anymore because we did a lot of that in our youth. I know, right? It's a moment of silence. I just can't hack it anymore. I had a little problem. But I would say that I would rather come to Las Vegas and partake in all of the marijuana, edible, vape, dab, all of those options way before like a giant slushy alcoholic beverage. The jury's out for Michael.
Yeah. Help me.
I can't say nothing. No, you're doing good. We've been sober for 9 months.
Well, I had a little small discretion in between, but
He had a half a beer.
I don't
I
remember
know.
it being just the half.
He
But
had half. Oh, okay.
it was a whole beer. It was just one though.
Question.
Yes, question from the gallery.
Question from the producer's table.
Well, I never tried any marijuana in my life. So what should I take first? I am energetic already. I don't sleep and I don't want to sleep.
If I were you, I'd probably try an edible.
What is edible?
Yeah.
It's like you can get like a little gummy bears.
Gummy bears.
Like
Everybody
little gummy
likes
bears,
those.
or if you like little granola bars or chocolate bars. They have chocolates. They have everything.
And the beautiful thing about
They
like the
have everything.
gummies
Lollipops,
is it's
ice
like
cream.
a micro dose, right? What
Yeah.
do you say?
Yeah, well, and like
Now
okay,
you make me scared of getting lollipop or.
Oh no, it says right on the package.
yeah,
I see
it
that.
tells
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
exactly how much. Like you can get the smallest little 5 milligram gummy bear, which will probably barely do anything to you.
So what is that to me?
Just relax a little bit.
Yeah, help you relax a little bit.
But
You
I
know,
don't want to sleep.
huh? You don't want to sleep?
I find
Well, then you can try different ones. You know,
I find that some strains of marijuana make me more creative and more focused,
some do.
and that's fun. But you're already pretty creative and focused, so I don't know that you would necessarily. But like,
So how about if you actually have a heartbreak break? Do they have a marijuana to do that?
I'm sure.
Well,
No,
they do have different like each strain
forget
strain
things.
does different things.
To
Like
forget
some
things.
help with depression.
Oh, there you go. That's what not really heartbreak, but depression.
Yeah, some help with that. You know,
Stress.
Yep. Stress,
Yeah.
anxiety,
I don't know,
paranoia.
anxiety,
Some people get paranoid when they smoke, and so even smoking more doesn't help sometimes.
So like, so the reason I have or had a marijuana prescription is for anxiety. The medical like pharmaceutical companies would want you to take like a Xanax or a benzodiazepine or something for that. And I don't want to put that in my system. So I just smoke a little bit of weed and I calm.
Do you ask that prescription? What?
So you go to your doctor and you get a prescription. You tell them you'd like to get a marijuana prescriction for anxiety, an eating disorder. I mean, there's all kinds of different things. Cancer patients.
Can't sleep,
Consultations?
insomnia.
Yeah, because often they can't eat. So the marijuana will kick up their appetite.
When is the marijuana being legalized in Las Vegas?
A while ago.
That was about what 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a
No,
while.
it's not 10 years.
It's 8 to 10 or something like that.
No, I've been here 7 years. It's
Hold on, we're going to
legalized
ask
in-
Dr. Google.
Yes, Dr. Google.
Hold on.
Dr. Google.
You guys go ahead and vamp.
You know, I love to ask questions, and I know that there's Google. You don't need.
I'm so happy. We live in a time right now where you can know anything you want.
I know,
Like right in the
but-
palm of your...
But I don't take time to do that.
It's
I want to ask the
fantastic.
question to people.
2017.
Yeah, you see, it's.
So it really
4 years.
hasn't... Yeah, it hasn't been as long as I
know
thought.
it.
Like
I
I thought it
Colorado.
was a lot longer.
Colorado's been a while.
Maybe that's where I was thinking of.
Yeah.
No,
So...
the reason why I asked is my dad has cancer. I could have actually.
Well, it helps to, like, an appetite stimulant.
For the radiation and stuff like that, the chemotherapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this kind of helps with that. You know, you can get some food down and
Yeah.
and
Also, soldiers, like warriors, they're finding it can help with
PTSD.
PTSD. Yeah, it has a lot of really good benefits.
a lot of good properties.
Yeah, and also it's fun. Like, I would much rather be high than most things. And I'm grown, so I don't want to spend all night in a bar and then throw up and all that. But like, you know, I never met a joint I didn't like. Although these kids with their dabs nowadays, I can't keep up.
Yeah.
Back in my day, weed was weed, and it grew from the ground, and you put it in a pipe and you smoked it. Now they got this wax and dab and stuff, and it's very, very strong. In fact, weren't you telling me about a dispensary and the guy was doing a dab and he fell off the stool right there in the Somebody was telling me that story. I was like, oh yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Well, it's happened. I'm
It's
sure.
very, very strong.
Mhm.
I don't like it. It's too strong. But like I said, I'm a lightweight.
Mhm.
And then
Me, I'm not a big dabber myself. You know, I've made it. I've made shatter myself a couple times, and it's been all right. You know, pretty tasty. It's just concentrate. You know, so like
little dabble do ya.
if this is 18%, I might make some shatter out of that. That might go jump it up to 90%.
yeah.
So it's just basically taking all of that herb and compacting it.
So you
into
need a
this.
lot of the flour, right, to make that stuff?
Well, it helps.
Yeah.
It helps if you have a lot.
Interesting.
And you don't really need the flowers. You can use like the trim.
Mm-hmm.
Like the trim is really good to make shatter or hash out of.
All the stuff you wouldn't normally smell.
Hmm.
That's really cool. I'm so glad that you're helping us to learn all these things, because a lot of stuff I didn't know.
Well, I don't know everything either myself. Like, I'm still learning too.
This is the place
you
to
know,
learn.
But you know, like whenever I bought weed back in the day, in '92 or whatever, none of this stuff was ever on the side of the bag. You know, so,
Right. It was just weed.
Yeah.
If it was like what? It was like in somebody's sandwich bag, twisted and tied, and they're like, here's your 5.
Well, I mean, why just 5? But, yeah.
But I did when I was in high school. I'm like, okay, I guess it's weed. It could have been oregano.
Well, I guess back then,
Yeah.
a five is basically like a 2-bagger, you know. So yeah.
Yo, let me get a nickel. Now you would get like, I don't know.
$20, you get 4 fingers. Back in the day.
But it was just weed.
You know, just
And then
regular
now
weed.
they have all these different strains and stuff, and it's pretty confusing.
Yeah, a lot of them are hybrids, really.
Can we talk about your mom really quick?
Okay.
First of all, shout out to Karen.
Hi, Mom.
She's recovering from surgery. She has some circulation problems. She's been in a lot of pain. So we're very happy that she's on the road to recovery. But she also, to help manage her pain, liked some edibles every now and again. Yeah. So I think it's so helpful for a lot of people. But get well soon. We're so happy that you're on the road to recovery.
Yes, my sister Margaret has even petitioned to be the background smoker.
Yeah, she wants to stand behind us and smoke weed. I'm like, I don't know.
We might be doing that sooner or later. She might be getting a call sooner than she thinks.
That's awesome. There was a song that you liked.
Well, that was going to be the intro to my
I
show.
know. So once we make the intro, we're going to put that up there. But this is our first episode, and I feel like it's going very well.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, we only have a couple minutes left. So, what should we?
Close them.
Oh, okay. Let's see. If you would like to be a musical guest in the future, we would love to feature you and your music on the show. Actually, not your music. Let me take that back. We are looking for different artists who might be willing to cover a top single from the year that we're doing. And we know some musicians, so hopefully that won't be too difficult.
Well, they don't also have to just play something from the time that we're asking for. They can also play a song from their collection
Yeah,
that
totally.
they've done themselves.
We
as
just
well.
would love to work some live music into the show, so we're
Yeah.
going to do that. And then, of course, the dispensaries.
Mhm.
And then let's talk. I want to talk really quick about 2 other things. So our small business of the week is Bathe by Chaz. And she does her own line of bath. It's bathebychaz.com. She's a young lady who graduated from acting school. She's a classically trained actress, and she's trying to make it out there, which I know she will, because she's incredibly beautiful and incredibly talented. But right now she has her own line of bath, and she calls it high vibrational, handcrafted bath salts, bath beads and oils. Really, really cool. You should check it out. She ships all over the United States. That's why there's this picture here with the FedEx boxes. Bathe by Chaz. She is a rad girl and a very good product. So we want to support her. And then today's exciting item that we have for sale through Culture Pop, and you can find us through socialmediashows.com, is the Dream Team jersey.
Yay!
Yeah. So if you want to come and find us on socialmediashows.com, we have this replica 1992 Olympic Dream Team jersey, available in sizes medium through extra large. They are $20 each, plus $10 shipping and handling. You can, like I said, you can message us here through social media shows if you'd be interested in that. And then next week, we are covering the year 1980. So we'll have another exciting item that you can purchase through Culture Pop. A very exciting new,
It is
very exciting new show.
Oh my God.
I know, I'm so happy. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time.
Yes,
What
I
say
agree.
you, sir?
I agree.
Yeah. And we'll do it again next week. We will see you then with the year.
Let's do this again.
Yeah, we'll see you next Tuesday.
At 3 o'clock.
Same time, same place, social media shows. Don't forget to check out everything on the social media shows website, including this exciting event that Big Mike and I will be at this Saturday called One Night Stand. It's a singles night, huge singles night. They do speed dating, they do blindfold dating, they do networking. It's just a really, really great, I mean, obviously we're in a relationship, but we have fun every time we go. There's dancing and drinking and meeting new people. It's a better group of people you could not meet. The show itself is very fun, entertaining and funny to watch. So come on down. It's at Chonkla's Cantina, 6 to 9 every Saturday night. The tickets are $10. That includes the entry. You get a wristband saying, hey, I'm single. You get a drink ticket. You can participate in any of the speed dating, whether it be to find the love of your life or just to meet new people. And then the very, very funny blindfold dating, which is awesome. It's like kind of like the old Bachelor, the old dating game, where they have a contestant blindfolded and they ask questions, and then that person picks their like dream date or whatever. It's very, very fun to watch. But thank you so much for tuning into our very first episode. And we'll see you next week with the year 1980 and more Med Talk with Big Mike.
Hi, family.
Hi, family.